Hello, guys. I think I saw some familiar faces, and also welcome George and Nico. And they are actually a part of the BNB Chains ecosystems at the moment, and we're trying to utilizing their supports, their products for further class corporations and management at this moment. So we're actually trying things out here in Founders Academy with our club members, products and stuff. Hopefully, we can both improve our products and get something out of this Founders Academy at this moment. And thank you everyone for making the time and effort to be here.
Excellent. Thank you so much. So for the Founders Roundtable, we will have an agenda every week, but mostly the agenda is what are some key issues that you're seeing in the marketplace right now for you, for your vertical, and maybe you can maybe it would be nice to get some feedback from all of you because I was so impressed meeting everyone on Tuesday. So maybe, Jim, we can start with you. Like, what are some of the issues that you're seeing in building a metaverse company, and what are some of the ways that we can maybe help get, kind of those resolved?
Yeah, and just sort of as background, people may have said this on Tuesday, but I may have missed it. But I'm interested in, right now we're sort of building out on Polygon, and that's been going well, but we're always looking at multi-chain possibilities. So I'd be curious to know what chain everyone is building on now, and then I'd be curious, as not just today, but as time goes on, looking at sort of comparable projects that are utilizing BNB chain, or just sort of state of the art in terms of which gaming companies tend to go in this direction, which sort of entertainment companies go in that direction. Obviously, Polygon's a big one still because Starbucks and everyone is building on it. But just when you hear all the other chains out there, I'm sort of curious what others see in terms of state of the art, and and multi-chain reasons to be multi-chain as well, other than just fluctuating values of tokens and the various chains.
You want to take that, Shing?
That's a great question. I think we can also save it for the roundtables as well. But I can give a really brave answers right here. Try not to promote BNB chain too much, even though this is a BNB chains entrepreneurships Founders Academy. Actually, we do see that's attraction to or the trend to be a multi-chain world at this moment, especially with layer 1, layer 2 different. I would say different public chains definitely has its own advantages at the moment. At the end, it all go back to the project itself. Like, what are you cares the most at the moment? Well, obviously, all the projects cares about daily active users, and if you're DeFi projects, then TVL, then business opportunity, development opportunities, and how strong or how ecosystem teams might be able to help from all perspective in terms of marketing or PR or some other collaboration or some exposures from that point. But again, for different projects, each different teams has its own stake. For BNB chain, we cares a lot about a great projects who has a really promising and a long time lifetime. With that being said, a lot of projects we have experienced in the previous rounds has been proved somewhat need to revolute its own business model or revolute its own technologies, and therefore they can fight for a longer time span. We are looking for projects who has a legit team who can see the futures of the at least 1 year ahead of the market, whereas can don't crash on the bear market easily, and also expand the business development opportunities, not only within the existing Web3 user group pool, because actually I think BNB chains, Ethereum, Polychain, at the end, our target users is pretty much the similar Web3 user group, but it's just one is larger, one is smaller in terms of the user size. So it's actually we are counting a lot, no matter what chain you are in, we're counting a lot on the projects to, find out a strategy to achieve a massive Web2 users adoption to Web3. And from there, we can see, how different ecosystem can help. For BNB chain, we have to say, like, we're having a bit advantages just because, we're really closely partnering with, Binance Labs and Binance.com. So that's, I would say, from some specific regions, that's definitely a great advantage. But also, it doesn't represent, projects can just, depending on the current ecosystem to, achieve a multi-billion or multi-million user group. It still takes some time to get educated to market, and we're willing to do that with the project, with the promising project together. With that being said, don't just airdrop easily to gain the user growth. There are so many interesting ways to incentive the user growth, to design an interesting or intriguing mechanism for users to get involved, or for business to get involved into using your products or your technologies on their daily basis. So we see that trend, and we would like to see, how as a layer 1 public chain service provider, like what type of technologies do you guys need? So for example, like BNB chain established this greenfield chain, which is a third chain, also acting as a decentralized data provider or data clouding storage service provider. The reason why we're doing that is because we see a great opportunity of social fi is coming, which means there will be a lot of, on-chain transactions happens on the same time. So therefore requires a lot of, data exchanges and stuff. So this is just one example of how BNB chain can help in terms of, from a technology perspective and also from a ecosystem perspective. I hope that sort of briefly answer the questions. We can go much deeper than that for the next following sessions.
Yeah.
Quick follow-up question. Is there like, and I may have missed this, is there like a Discord or anything that we're all in that we can post sort of questions
we're going
like
to get
this?
a Telegram by the end of the day today, because we're adding people to the Academy still. Actually, we have a few more interviews today. And then we're going to add a Telegram group with everyone, and then you can chat with everyone and ask that question and, have a quicker interaction. Absolutely.
Because I'd love to see some, if you have any case studies on BNB chain and, in a gaming context and a consumer context, I'd be interested.
There is a huge research study they published in January on their vision for, Web3 games and play to earn games and social media development as apps on their chain. Those two studies, I'll dig them out for you. I think they released them in January of this year.
Oh, that would be great.
Yeah. They're very well written. And there's quite a bit of research that BNB chain does. I'm in a group that is in their sort of accelerator ecosystem, and they have literally, I think they have a new report every other week, probably. So we'll go through those because I think they would benefit everyone as well. Just one comment on, multi-chain operations. Since you're in the metaverse space, and from what I remember, there are NFTs being minted in a variety of components of that metaverse offering. If that's happening, then you really have to be interoperable in some way. I'll give you an example. The Numbers protocol we've been advising here at Infiom for almost a year now. They literally are tracking each media file, so film, television, music on chain, right? And with NFTs, it's so interesting. The consumers are so inexperienced. They don't really know what a chain is, kind of a thing, like what's a layer 1. They just want to take their NFT and sell it to the highest bidder. Most of them are artists and media people who are not aware of our infrastructure here in the ecosystem. And so with Numbers, you can actually do that. You can take something off of OpenSea and Ethereum and put it onto a Solana's, NFT marketplace or Algorand's, et cetera. So that kind of a solution for someone who is just a media user or metaverse user as a consumer is almost like imperative, because they will not be able to figure this out on their own in the current environment. So that's where, this interoperable becomes very important. I'm
Just
gonna
one more follow-up question, and then I'll let others talk. But that reminds me of, sort of what our core aim is as we're building this out, is to have it be accessible to people who are not, Web3 natives. And so like we're exploring, just regular Web2 logins that define information that can then later be converted into an actual NFT if you connect a wallet, and any other sort of onboarding, interface decisions that reduce the number of steps, and we count like the actual number of steps, like in screens that you go through to do what we're intending to do. And, any other experience other teams have with that, just sort of in reducing friction or onboarding non-Web3 native people, would be interesting as the weeks go on.
If you ever need help with that, just ping me right away, because I've tried everything from Cognito at AWS, Auth0, Web3 Auth. Again, I know very well all the frameworks. So if you need help, I can easily give you my 2 cents on that.
Yeah, not so much help because we've been doing it for a number of months, but it's more like we are doing Web2 logins that you can use emails to log in without connecting a wallet, to define information that can later be, minted as an NFT, once you integrate with the rest of the site. But we're trying to have at least, it be experienceable for people who, maybe I have a wallet and I don't want to connect it, or I don't, feel like it right now, and I just want to sample something. And I think having those sort of windows into what a project is, are sort of important onboarding mechanisms.
Well, it would be good to have the 2 companies talk about your experience in trying to onboard consumers into the space, into an experience that is seamless, because that is really a holy grail, and I don't think we're there yet. And I think you have a good solution, Jim, and you guys, Nico, you guys also have a good solution. And so the question is going to be, what are some optimal ways of solving this in different environments? And interestingly enough, our first speaker next week, Fred Krueger, who, founded, I think, he has exited out of 10 companies in at least $10 million of a sale each. And there was some at $250 million, et cetera. And he's an investor. He has a fund called 2718. But he's going to be talking about Bitcoin, because they're building a payment platform, and all this that you're describing on Bitcoin. He's built many wallets in his career. And one of the discussions I had with him in preparing for the academy was to have another session about ease of, onboarding people into wallets, and then the security of that experience for the consumers. And I feel like between him and everything that you're discussing, we should have one session on that, because that is sort of the holy grail of getting the world onboarded into this space. What do you guys think?
I think so. Yeah, and that's the other thing we're sampling with. At least, we're on a test net now, and we're hoping to test it with our extended team the next few weeks. But we're only charging like $1 in Matic basically to mint anything, and it's really sort of like a nominal charge that we're looking to collect, just to get some revenue and some, we can experiment with what that number is later, but at least as a starting point, we're trying to just have it be more of a nominal amount, as opposed to something that sort of reminds people of fluctuating, crashing values of everything. It's really just like a nominal amount that we're interested in, sort of the definition of these moments, and then sort of the interconnectedness between them, more than trying to have like a flash in the pan sort of pump and dump thing that people have like a suspicion about in the past. So I think that's another way we're trying to onboard average people, is by keeping it nominal, at least now.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting with the consumers in crypto. It seems that if there is a success of them earning something for something that they wouldn't have earned in Web2 economy, but in this Web3 economy, they, post something on, on an NFT marketplace, and they earn money from it. That's like a key moment for them to kind of onboard into Web3. And so keeping it simple and having them some sort of easy success in onboarding at the moment is definitely a good way to get larger, consumer participation. It kind of like a whole winning strategy, right? With all the staking and yield farming, which gets complex for regular consumers, but that's the idea. You have the ability to earn more with each one of the functions. Let's go to some of the other of our founders. Anybody else wants to volunteer, or do I have to actually?
Yeah. Hi. Yeah, the reason I wanted to jump in was that you said something, Shunyi, about not only consumers, and we're very much B2B. So the mechanisms that everybody's discussing now with the consumers and the NFTs are not really, they're not really within our realm. We're really interested in engaging the businesses and the asset managers. Just let me set the groundwork. We're a DeFi company, and you were absolutely right that we go for the TVL. Like that's what's interesting to us, is where is the TVL? Shunyi, you said that. And so BNB chain is like really interesting because it has not only the high TVL, but the low fees. Really, we just have ETH and BNB chain, and Ethereum has the high fees. It has more TVL at the moment, but it has those high fees. And really, there's only those two right now. So multi-chain is interesting, but we're not going to go too fast to anything that doesn't have TVL because it doesn't really serve our intended audience. We have funds that want to deploy 100 million into DeFi right now, and we're like holding the reins on them because I don't think there's the liquidity there to justify a $100 million fund. Well, $100 million fund is probably the absolute maximum you could do because we don't have enough TVL in any of these protocols to make that work without overwhelming the market. But we have like 3 funds right now that want to work with us to build DeFi funds of 100 million or so. And so it's urgent in some ways to get more TVL into the marketplace so that these funds can do what they want to do and we can build our business. But it's very difficult to know how to engage. And you mentioned, Shunyi, and this is what I wanted to ask, how do you create mechanisms that incentivize more businesses to come in? Because the challenge that I have as founder of a DeFi company is when I talk to asset managers, they're from the traditional finance space, and I try to explain to them how liquidity pools are different. It's a very long education process, and I can get 45 minutes into it, and they ask a question about price change that makes me realize they didn't understand anything I said in the beginning. So how can we, I don't know if we have any one-on-one sessions or like breakout sessions where we could talk about B2B strategies, but I would love to have a brainstorming session on how to incentivize these people and like get more people in. That's really a great question. I have to say, I've been in conversation with at least 3 DeFi projects this week just to explore how to develop B2B strategies and B2C. Surprisingly, most of the DeFi projects are actually having multi-strategies, B2P, B2B2C, B2C. They're like combinations of everything, and they are actually in need of seeking funds to get invested on their liquidity pool just to get things rolled out at the beginning. What is our experience is that once you deploy on BNB chain with your secured audit reports about the projects and your at least the playing mechanism for the projects has to be somewhat innovative in the ecosystem compared with the other projects. We can help you from what we can at the really early stage for a business development in terms of making introductions with different to be facing projects that we're having, such as Wombat or PancakeSwap, or, I can list a few of them in the pipelines, but I wouldn't be able to review at the moment. There are many, great projects who actually has funds or provides, platform for projects to link with funds directly, or, to get to see customers for together acting as to be customers, such as, venture DAOs and stuff like that. So many projects are being really innovative in terms of, where they're providing where they can source to provide the liquidity for you instead of, directly provides the liquidity. I think that's a new way of, DeFi world is trying to play out at the moment, just to get the community foremost and try to, raise the money from there and then redistribute it to different DeFis. And that's one route. And the other route also works as well. So for example, if you're a fund and you're just, looking for great DeFi projects to get invested, that's actually even more easier, because we have more DeFi projects than what we have funds in the current markets. That's the truth. But making a great introductions with multiple projects is shouldn't be a hard thing for BNB chain ecosystem to do. But we have to hit the criteria of being there, which is basically the project's innovations and the securities, and what is the differentiations compares ourselves with the others. As long as you can make the stories worked out, BNB chains is on back of you. And so from there, I think we can definitely have a set up a sessions course, or at least a Q&A sessions that we can introduce. I will try to bring PancakeSwap's team members from them, but I have to see their schedules. But since we're bringing this topic up, let's see, maybe they can provide some of their insights for the community as well.
That would be great. Another quick note is that we currently do security audits on all the Ethereum tokens. We use the publicly available scans, so we have all of the vulnerabilities mapped out, and we don't have that right now. We're not doing the smart contract audits on PancakeSwap or any of the tokens on BNB chain. We would love to provide that, and maybe if we talk to the PancakeSwap team, maybe there's a way. Maybe there's some publicly available scanners that could help us to extend that functionality on BNB.
That will definitely be achievable. And also at the same time, we do have a Kickstart program where we basically just provide a list of, a service provider. Once you were introduced by us, you will get a discount from them if you need, deeper security audit reports to further develop any, conversations. But yeah. Definitely.
So we have a speaker coming up also, Lisa, for the security audit side, for the actual layer ones and the exchanges. He used to run blockchain practice for Kudelski, and they audited Crypto.com and Binance and Solana, Algorand, some of the top layer ones. So he would probably be, he actually left, and he's doing independent consulting. He left about a month ago. He will be a speaker on that side, and you would be a great, I would say, co-speaker with him, but he would be a good resource for you probably to explore some of these other chains for your service. So that's on the security audit side. And on the institutional adoption side, so the liquidity adoption, the liquidity pool building, I think what Xinhui addressed. I think having all of these DeFi players on the BNB chain in sort of a session where we can address that, how to scale liquidity would be great. On the institutional adoption, probably be another session. We have Clay Nickel, who was we spent about 9 years at JP Morgan. There was an executive director there, and then he was brought on by Galaxy Digital to create their fund of funds. So he literally spoke to every institution on planet Earth trying to adopt crypto. And now he's also left, and he's the CEO and co-founder at Stability, but he has committed to speak for us and just, walk us through all of the issues that he's getting in discussions with on the institutional side, like what's wrong, what are the challenges in onboarding into the space that you're describing. So I think if we cover those 3 angles, I think we may help DeFi projects. Does that kind of help?
Yeah, I think that'll be really useful. Thank you.
Awesome. So we got those people scheduled. And And maybe I can move some of those discussions up earlier because of, trying to kind of move this forward. Anybody else has any other questions?
Yeah, I'm wondering where are we going to find the information about the scheduled meetings, Zooms, information? Is there a site we can?
Yeah. You have not gotten them yet. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Because
okay.
we had the exchange, but there's basically an email, welcome email that you haven't gotten, and then also their calendar invites for all of them. And then every week we'll be publishing the speakers, because speakers are confirmed, but not for particular dates at the moment. They said, yes, we'll come and speak, and people are calling me every day. They want to speak. So I don't think we'll have a problem finding terrific speakers, but we'll have to, for each week ahead of time, we will have a post on the Twitter, on the BNB Chain's Twitter, about who's speaking that week, and we'll send out a notification. So those are, so you can see what sessions, you kind of must attend, or you can view them later because we're taping them. Any other questions? I think we have some other people on this call. Thibault, you have any questions at this point?
No, not really about this topic, but I have a question in mind for everyone. Basically, it's with the recent events about BUSD. What do you think will become the stable standard in BNB chain? Because on platform, of course, we were using BUSD, but yeah, we don't know if it's still going to be supported by the users, basically. So
yeah, that's a big question. I'm not sure that I have an answer to it at this moment. Shimi, do you have any kind of official answers on that?
That's a really great and tough questions for us to answer at this moment. I have to say we're still trying to resolve it. But if you're thinking about any stable coins type of projects, please try. We're in need of supporting such projects on BNB chain.
Yeah, because the minting of BUSD has been halted, but the stable coins I don't think are going away. The reason why I would say the SEC is having a problem with stable coins, and there were quite a few articles on this over this last few years, and definitely this last year, the banking industry is having quite a bit of problem in the US with the crypto industry, and mainly has to do with stable coins and staking. Those are the two major issues, which go right after, basically, banks are the payment platforms and payment transfer platforms in many ways, and the stable coins just remove the friction in these processes. And then if you look at the actual, the staking, that's kind of the loaning function, the loans, which is how the banks actually create the spread, et cetera. So these are the two main functions affecting the banking industry. And these are the two main functions that SEC is sort of trying to resolve at the moment. And we're all waiting to see, how the regulation will be formed, to combat that sort of, they're sort of leading with litigation, but the end of the road, hopefully, is a better coordinate system where all of the players know the rules and can participate in a smart way. But yeah, this is unfolding right now. And, we were accepting payments for the Academy in BUSD. We love BUSD. It's very transportable, frictionless, et cetera. And so hopefully it will be here to stay, however that gets resolved. Any other questions? Okay, I want to just make sure that everybody kind of understands the topics that we're going to cover. Do you have any banker you want to introduce yourself? We haven't spoken with you yet.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hello. Actually, I'm from Southeast Asia, so our time currently around 4 a.m. something. But it's nice to meet you all. I'm Banker from the Retreat. Currently we are deploying on BNB chain as our first chain because we are working on multi-chain decentralized derivative protocol. So our concepts will be more simple with like the real yield and reverse product, like you can trade the forex, the crypto and equity and so on in our platform. And yeah, actually, we just launched our testnet yesterday on BNB chain as well. So we're still new in the BNB chain, so we're lovely to learning everything, the technology and so on on the BNB chain as well. So far, it's still running, so I think I don't have any question for now yet.
What does the dairy trade do? Could you just tell us a little bit more about it? And sorry to wake you up at 4 in the morning. I've been there, and it's no fun.
Oh no, it's okay because yeah, we are building the, as just now I mentioned, is multi-chain multi-chain decentralized derivative protocol. So just like currently as a very famous product, famous project or platform on chain like DYDX, GMX, or today just listing on Binance like GNS. So we are kind of the platform of them. It's not a very new concept, but we try to bring some innovative ideas on BNB chain, and future we surely will go for the multi-chain as well. So we are the DeFi project.
Can we actually join your testnet somehow and try it out?
Currently we on private testnet, so for our alpha tester on right now. So after the 2 weeks later on, we are open for public.
And basically, what kind of functionality from DeFi is actually included in your project that you can maybe talk about today? What parts of the DeFi, what parts of the DeFi functionality are you including in your offering? What can you do cross-chain, etc.?
Okay. So based on our platform, the user can trade the futures on platform is not only on the crypto, and you can trade the forex and something on in our platform as well. So yeah, if you're saying the DeFi, then yeah, actually we are DeFi.
So it's actually trading futures?
Yeah, any type of the future you can imagine, like derivative and crypto, forex, and so on. So in the future, we still will bring on like something like commodity and so on as well in the future, in the near future. Yeah.
Wow, that's quite exciting. And this is for traditional products, like kind of the wrapped equities, if you like, as well as for crypto products. Interesting. Okay, well, look forward to testing it out when it's available, see what it's all about. And where are you guys located physically? What country?
Spain.
Okay, Spain. We got Spain, we got New York, right, Jim? Lisa's in Silicon Valley. I'm in Los Angeles. Shenhui is in New York as well. And then where are you guys? Where are you, banker?
Southeast Asia, Malaysia.
Malaysia. We also have, I think, Vietnam. They were not able to join us because it's also like Q4 in the morning. We have Thibaut is in France. We have, I think, another project in France and one in Turkey. So, and we're talking to 3 or 4 more later on today. So we're quite international, I would say, in this first iteration. But also the BNB team I've been interacting with is all over the world, right? Shinue, we have content people in UK, and we have marketing in Singapore, and it's like literally all over the world.
Yeah, exactly. Dubai, Central Europe, US as well. Yeah, and Singapore as well. Yeah, It's all over the world. We're going to try to bring some of the marketing professionalists to join into one of our sessions if anyone else needs any marketing brainstormings or stuff like that moving forward. Mary, I think we're also going to issue out a questionnaire just to collect all the great questions that we are raising at the moment, or if we didn't have enough of time to go through that, we can collect them during the weekends and get our speakers to get ready to answer them.
Yeah, I agree. I think that this interactive session that we started today may be the most productive session we have every week, because it really is about solving your problems with everything we have and everyone we know, kind of a thing, than it is sort of like learning new concepts together, which we will have some of that, of course, but it would also be more about kind of inciting you to think through how can I use that concept or that coordinate system or that idea to implement into what I already have to solve a problem that I already have, and to get this to the next level as optimally and as fast as possible. And with that, I think I'm going to conclude today, unless you guys have any other questions and any other thoughts of how we can improve this process. Awesome. And everybody met Kristen. Kristen, you want to just say hello? She's an Infiom team member and has been with us from the very beginning. I don't know if she's available to speak, but you can also send her questions and or send me questions and or send Shinui questions, and we'll try to put together a list of topics that you may be interested in above and beyond the ones that we already posted on our website and the FAQ pages, etc. So thanks, everyone. Look forward to seeing you Tuesday at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's Los Angeles time. That will be our first lecture. And then we have one on Wednesday, we have a salon. So we'll have presenters. They're just presenting their ventures, kind of looking at something else that's doing well in the market. On Thursday, there's a lecture. And then we're going to be back. I think we're going to move this Founders Roundtable to 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time so that Banker and our friends in East Asia can join us and have a productive discussion as well. Does that sound good? Thank you so much. We look forward to seeing you next week.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye bye, everyone.